Welcome to Shine in the Light. My name is S.E. Walibwa and my guest today is one and the only, Nijel Amos. Amos became a champion at the 2012 World Junior Championships in athletics, finishing in a new championship record of 143. In the 2012 Summer Olympics, Amos won a silver medal in the men's 800-meter race, the first Olympic medal for his country. Got injured in 2013. He returned in 2014, beating Rudisha twice at the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Amos won the 800-meter gold medal in 145. We'll stop there for now. How are you, my brother? How you been, man?
One piece, brother. One piece. Keeping on it. Happy and really good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. You know, we're always happy to see you, man. You know, racing, you know. So, tell me something, man. How you been dealing with this pandemic thing?
I think it's been a tough one, but the way the angle I look at it, it's like it's affected everyone in the world. As an athlete, you know, it's like when you get injured and you sit here on the couch watching a race. It's different than there's no race. The meet is cancelled. You know, it's not like there's someone having the pie now or anything. Or it's the whole world is injured. You know, and then it's for healthy reason. And one way they have hope. So for us, it's this pandemic is something that killed the dream that we've been working on for 4 years. You know, the Olympic is a 4-year cycle. The moment you cross the line in the last Olympic, you look into the next Olympic. You know, but it's not a delayed goal to come. You know, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, man. I mean, looking at what's been going on in 2020. So, what is your revelation of life, man, right now? You know, because
for me, it's always about being faith, take day by day, you know, enjoying the moment where you are, you know, and have memories of that moment. So, because that way in life, we have people want to say the story, but they can't say the story is partial because they were never in the moment, you know. So, I want to be in the moment and enjoying, really be there. So, I just take one moment at a time, one step at a time, you know. And moving, getting the patience that everything will be all right.
Right. So let's go back a little bit to your background. So you you were born in Marobela. You know, I went to school in Francistown, man. You know, I always loved the North. You know, so
You know, that's supposed to be that's supposed to be.
yeah. So you were born in France. Did you go to school there?
I was going to school in Marobela, and I actually spent the rest of my childhood life in Marobela. You see how the distance of Francistown and Marobela is it? Actually, I never saw Francistown until I was 17 years.
Really?
The first time, that was the first time I see the traffic lights, you know. So
Wow.
Marobela and the village side of it, you know, and the farms and going to school in that side of the country.
Well, so you were raised by your grandmom. From what I gathered, you were raised by your grandmom, right?
Yeah,
And,
from a young age, you know, I've lost my parents when I was still young. And they raised up, it was 9 boys. They raised up me and other 8 boys. They lost all of 9 children. So we're raised by grandmothers who have faith, you know. Even though I lost 9 of their grandchildren, I'll still come home and see my grandmother pray, you know. So that's kind of the environment that you grow into, you had the spiritual faith and belief into. So I think I picked that up from my grandmother and kept it going in life with it. So they raise us and give us that faith of always believing, working on it, what you desire in life, you know.
Wow. So your best memory in Marobela?
It will be when we're winning a game, you know. As 9 boys, and I came from a family where.
So when let me ask you something. When you win something, you go back to Marobela and go share with the village, or
everything I do is the village first. The first share of village, man. I do everything comes from the village. You know, I got to support the community. I was one of the kids who really was raised by the village, in terms of like, as 9 boys, there was not enough space at home. So my grandmother would have to say, Kikopa neighbor, I have too much harvest, you know. So I was one of the guys who were staying in the neighborhood, in the houses to a house. And so I say one of the best childhood memories there would be when we're winning a game of soccer. We played as a game of soccer as a family. We wanted to buy a packet of soup at the end of the day and have dinner with family. So when we win the game, it was the best feeling, you know, that we got that soup at the end of the day.
wow, I mean, I know there's a lot of love, man, from home, you know. So you went. So now after that, you went to Francistown.
Yeah, from there, 17, I played soccer, and then at 17, I joined, I was in the high school, the senior school in McConnell. So
Uh-huh.
that's a guy called Mr. Mafefe, Coach Mafefe. So he keep on saying, listen, man, I saw you during your junior years. You performed good. You got to the national, you won these titles, but I think you could be good in this race. Let's try it out, you know. And then I was like, look, I'm a football player because I was a good striker. And at the moment, I have 29 games, 33 goals. That's my stats. That's how good I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and then I was like, no, I'll stay, I'll leave that out. It's not my way. I don't think that's what something I could do. And then eventually I got like, well, no, one day let me just do this and get this guy out of my way. You know, every time we met, it talks about one thing. Let me just show him how great I'm not in this line. And then unfortunately, that way God was directing me. That was my grace. And then I just took on the career of athletics from there. Now to be selected to go and represent the national team, that means you come into the city, you get to fly outside, you get to see the other side of the world. You know, you get to be, for me, I'm that young boy who was at the farms. See the flight by and be like, Untele the streets, Untele, you know, and then eventually you're in that flight. That kind of how I see the transition of it, you know.
Right. So before we transition, you know, have you ever been hopeless, you know, like you know,
No,
I don't know what I want to do next. You
no,
know?
I think I've never been hopeless. I said, you know, my grandmother lost all her 9 children.
Yeah.
But she kneels down and pray every day and raise the 9 children she have. You know, that was hope, that was faith, that I saw from the environment that as I grew up as a young childhood. I kept the young boy alive. I saw kept the memories alive. And I always knew that if something's for you, you always get it. So I never got that. I don't think I've always got that hopeless moment. That's why I always have a smile on me and knows that what is mine will come through.
You always had a smile. So when did you really get into track and field?
So that is time like 2011, 2010. I competed the Southern. I was selected for the Southern region. I performed well. 2011, that's when I think I did my first big races, which was the World Youth in France in Lille. And then from there, that was time when teachers were on strike. You know, there was teachers on strike, and my coach just convinced me to join the new sports. And now eventually, the teachers on strike. So the guy who brought me in the room is no longer in the room to direct me now. You see,
right?
Performance I had, the pain I felt at the World Junior in France was like, I'm done with this. I'm going back to soccer. So when I came back, things set it up. He's like, you know what? Listen, you went final in the World Youth. In the youth, the whole children in the world, you're top 8. Look at this number. And then that's what I realized, like, you know, the stats shows. And then now, again, I'm growing up. It's a family background, you know, Rudisha, so I had to take
yes.
It's something that you grow up into. That responsibility comes as you grow up as a guy, you see the light, and you realize, listen, this is the situation of my family, and this is what God gave me. I could be this gateway to help my family out, you know. So I look at things and say, you know, football, we're 11 of us. We just divine motivation, divine determination to get the. But the athletics, I could sacrifice and make this thing happen for my family. So I think that's when I really started to get into that way, you know. And then when he showed me the start to say, look, you're number 7 in the world, I say, okay. And that was 2011. So 2012, somewhere during July, I posted a status on Facebook that next year I will be in Barcelona representing my country and I'll make my country proud. You know,
right.
And then it eventually happened that way. The year that I was talking about, the same day I crossed the line winning the World Juniors. So I realized that's when my faith started to get more stronger to say, you know, you attract, you put things into the universe, you work onto it, you align what you want. And then I think that's when really I came into the athletics scenes when I won the World Juniors, which was a few months, and then I crossed the line at the Olympics.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's an amazing story, brother. And so you got 143 for your junior, and I watched the last 200, man. That was breathtaking. So what was going on in your mind at that time when you were winning that?
I got injured in the same fun. If you could go back to that race, you see I had a bandage on my other leg.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I got injured on the same final, and then I had to work nicely with my muscle to be able to get down there. And I was even there's a point they were thinking of withdrawing me from the race, and then I was just like,
wow.
No, keep me on there. And then I slept overnight. In the morning, the pain was still not that bad, getting better. And then we worked out with one of South African physio really helped me. We worked out on Tito. Okay, we can work out in this race. And then when I went to warm up, I'm just, waiting for your race to start at the warm up field. I could hear the national anthem playing in the background of my mind, I could hear I could hear the sound and everything. So that's just like, okay, that gives me energy, that gives me faith, comes with it. I got to the race. I got to the race for them. They knew this guy injured in the same final. So that was in the mentality way. That was one up against behind me. The heavy mentality that he's injured. I gotta be strong in the mental that yes, I'm injured, but I'm back on it. I'm in the line though. So and then I had to keep it nicely. Last 200, get home, and then I got home, cross up with the championship record, and then a few months after, blessed with the world junior record, which is still standing. It's a good transaction to show that I got championship record and I come out to get the world junior record. And now I'm in the phase where I'm trying to get the world record, change the world record, because I'm the third fastest ever. And the world was broken in front of my eyes when I was 18. I was second in that race. So I had that faith, I had that feeling. I've seen it happening. I was in that action when it was happening. So I want to be there to be the driver when it happens.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about so tell me something, Nigel. What is your mental process when you're about to enter the competition?
I do try as much as to.
I've seen these guys. What's his name? Bolt and Johan and some other guys, and they like to do some antics. I don't know if that's a way to calm them down, right? So.
Yeah. No. So for me, before I leave the house, before I leave the hotel, I go to the mirror, I scream. When I come back here, I'll be a champion, and I leave my house, know that I promised that. And I come back to that mirror, looking myself, I should be up there. I should be a champion. So, and I do try by all means to separate the athlete and the person, and just be like, when I'm out of the athletics zone, I'm out of the track, I'm the person. I'm relaxed. I get to relax and recharge. So that's, I think, is the way that boosts my mentality side of it.
Wow. So in 2012 Olympics, you won a silver behind Rudisha. When he set a record at 140, I don't think you felt like you were totally beaten. I mean, you just got out of the juniors, right?
I'll tell you the secret that happened before the race.
I'm pretty sure you were like, man, I nearly got this guy. So.
I'll tell you the secret that people doesn't know what happened before the race. When you get to the warm-up, Rudisha came to me and told me he's going to go hard. He told me, young brother, I'm going to go, so save your energy. So when brother laughed before the race started. For me, my first goal was to get to the Olympics was to enjoy the village, enjoy the African food, Asian food. I just won the world junior. I'm 18. I'm okay. I still have life ahead of me to get things done. Let me enjoy the Olympic. And eventually I was in the final. So when he came to me and said something like that, I knew that, okay, I'm the second fastest time in the world at the moment. He's just the second ahead from me. But he had the experience of all those. I got into the race. I stayed in a position to where I know I'll butter my bread evenly. And then grace of God, I crossed the line with a medal,
I'm pretty sure he knew what you could do then, So
definitely knew that, definitely.
So did he shock you with his 140?
No, it's for me too. It's you cross the race line, you see 140, 141. You see all the times that the last guy ran 143. The last guy in the race could have won the past 2 Olympics or so. And then you look at it to be part of that historical race. You value the work of it. You value and put, because for that race to happen like that, it's just like a chain, a bicycle. Every clip it helps for the bicycle to move. So you're prepared, you put into it and be grateful for the race,
I like that perspective. Yes. In 2013, you got injured. So what happened?
Yeah, in 2013, I started to get to university, and then I was doing the varsity cups, and then I got injured in the varsity cups, and that was my first injury. And that moment, people knew me, and people expected Nigel to come back, and the world comes now, do better coming up there. And then now in this situation, I'm just moved from Marobela, to another country, not from to another city in my certain country, to a country where they speak a different language total that I don't know. Because from there, 2012, I had to move to Northwest University in South Africa. Now I was turning professional, I was finishing my Form 5, I had to move on, So I got into there, I was starting to adjust to.
Man, you were still young.
Yeah?
I'm saying you were still young. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just moved to this country. I'm adjusted to the new environment. I'm adjusted to the new training group. My body too is adjusting to the system, to everything, to the sports, to everything. I didn't grow up. I didn't have much years on the system. Just 2 years of mine.
So you just moved from where to where? To take it from
Marobela to South Africa, Potchefstroom,
Okay.
West, yeah, where I was going to work with Coach Jan Vestra and all the training group there. So now I'm adjusting to the whole environment and everything. So in terms of taking the process onto that, the body couldn't take it all together. So I got injured when I was one of the training that put me back the whole year. And then that's the time when I was out of the season, and then I started to be a DJ. You remember this DJ Zoro,
Yeah,
then,
I heard about DJ Zoro.
Yeah, and that's the time I started to have a DJ Zoro, because I watched the World Championship that I was in Moscow, and then I won 144, and I'm sitting down there, I'm like, I'm 141 guy. I did that. I would have done better in this race. I expected that for myself. So that moment I realized I was not only getting physically injured, I was only being myself mentally. I was killing myself too. So that's when I picked up the DJ thing. So even if everyone was like, the guy is out of control, he's losing, I knew the feeling that I was bringing the peace when I put my head at the end of the day, when I put my head in the pillow at the end of the day. And that's the feeling that I was looking for. And I bounced back 14 hours unbeaten. So I think I learned the power of listening to my inner voice from there.
Wow. So you never thought of quitting?
No, I knew it's a transit, it's a plane. I mean, I'm being taken to the next journey. I'm still healing to come back to the process.
Did you party hard that time?
No, I wasn't partying. I was going around just doing things that were aligned with most of it that now I'm doing through my foundation, getting out there, supporting people, supporting initiative, and uplifting people. I was kind of putting myself in the line where I felt most alive when I was not in the track,
Okay, let's talk about what does it take, man, to keep on going, when you are injured, grinding, if you don't get especially if you don't get the result that you want,
I think it's appreciating your sacrifices and the journey you are. It's for me. It's never about the results. It's about the journey.
I like that.
Yeah, if I don't get the results, I look the journey, I appreciate the journey, I see the sacrifice, I see the growth. So I think that's what keeps at me. Because for me, it's never about the results, it's about the journey.
And this applies to every facet of life. So it's about the journey, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So how do you handle rejection?
It's I think rejection is when you question your best ability. You question that if you are satisfied, your best ability, and you appreciate your best ability, even if someone doesn't appreciate it, it doesn't feel bad. You have to keep doing it and knowing that, hi, there's the sun here. It's all the trees are enjoying the sun. There's never anything, so it's enough for us if they're out there for now. The pie is good enough.
Yeah. And how do you handle, people's opinions on what you should do? People got their own opinions on you.
Because I'm walking the journey. I know the pain of the journey that they don't know. And for us as an athlete, people see me the 1 minute 45. They see me in the TV. They don't see the 12 months I'm working for that 1 minute. They don't see the sacrifices. You see.
Whoa, I like that.
I'll tell you this. My daughter's 5 years. I'll tell you, I saw my daughter only for about 6 months in these 5 years in her life. So the sacrifices that we put into, I haven't seen my family. I haven't stayed with my family ever since I was 17. I left my house until now. You see, that they don't see all those sacrifices. So you appreciate the sacrifices and listen to your own voice and know that this is my journey and this is what keeps me going. This is what I'm losing on my own journey. And this is what I'm sacrificing my own journey. I didn't get to enjoy my childhood with my friends. I get to sacrifice that. Something that I can get back, But what's the growth out of it? To keep on going and getting the results.
I like that. So let's back to the track. So in 2014, you won a couple races, right? When you went back in 2014, you even beat Rudisha. How many times did you beat him? Twice? That season?
Yeah, I think so. Our statistics at the moment is 6-1. I only lost to Rudisha the Olympic race when I was in that Olympic race.
Wow. Wow. So in 2014, you won a couple races. You even beat Rudisha at the Commonwealth. I know you won by 145. That was like your best, because I've seen you, doing like 141.
The championship and once of Diamond League race are different. Once of Diamond League run one race, you win. You don't have to come back tomorrow and race again. So championship league people we run to win. You don't run fast. You run to be able to come back tomorrow and run hit same final. So the approach is different into that, and it's get harder as an athlete. For me, if you look at it, I haven't been winning a championship medal from 2012. But I've been running the world fastest time each and every year. I've been showing up in the world turbo. I've been being the fastest. I've been delivering time wins. I've been winning the Diamond Leagues. But I never won the championship, the world championship and the games, Why? Because I healthy now, I wasn't strong enough to train and be able to come back day after day. Hence, I made a move to go to the USA and build and have a team around that helped me to move back. And you see, 2019, I did the fastest time ever since I was 18. My second fastest time ever since I was 18, which I think we're there. The building block of shows, and we get into shape.
So, but did you feel like you were ready to finally take gold in 2016? Did you feel like you could actually beat Rudisha at the Olympics?
Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. It was come from Botswana, a country like that, and you get a chance to be an Olympian. It's 0.015 chances, And for you to go to the Olympics for the second time is something that I glorify to say, I'm going to be second time Olympian. That year I faced a lot of challenges, health issues. I was spending so much in the hospital, time in the hospital. I was 10 fat. I was 10 kg over my race weight. Mm-hmm. I knew where I was, but I needed to line in that line and remind myself again, one more moment, how it feels, and know that from there I'm gonna work out of this thing, ready to work to come back again. And then I got what I wanted out of it. I came back on my feet again. I'm back. I'm delivering.
Yeah. And so you won Monaco Diamond League in 2019 with 141. Again, did you feel like you were at your peak here?
Yes, definitely. We've been working on to this. I moved to the USA in 2017, and then when I get there with coach, I say, coach, I want to get back to my level best. And he said to me, your level best is 141. It's special. There's no many people have done that in so much space of your life and something. You are gonna be required to go deep and do some things, and I know how you get there. We worked on it. It's a plan. It's a hard plan. In 2017, you said, okay, 2017 you run 143. 2018 you run 142. 2019 you get back to 141, and these are the base work that I think will work for you. You got to change your diet. You just sit down, the teacher, and I sit down, the psychologist. I got to know what does it take to be on top there. There's a whole team around it. And then for me, I sit around the table. I see this whole team around the table. I like, these people's success depend on how am I going to take it? How am I going to do this to they see this onto me? I need to really put on work and sacrifices too on my side. And then I did, and we knew that I'm ready for 141 that time, because the training been talking, the recovery been talking behind the door. So we knew that let's go for it, let's give it a try, And then it came out, it's fastest time in the world ever since 2012. I became the first woman being to be that fast in space of 7 years. It set me in a special thing. I felt good to I'm into the shape. I'm back to I was 18. And I'm looking forward to the Olympics, and unfortunately it couldn't happen this year in the Olympics, but we keep you on the energy, keep you in the good faith and the rhythm going forward.
Yeah, I'm looking at this 141, man. I'm like, this 141, this is great speed, man. So this will give us something great right here, But how you feeling right now, though?
I'm in one case. I'm happy at the moment where I am. I'm in Pretoria now. I'm training here for the next 2 months. And it's a time where we need to remind ourselves. I think for me, I'll go back to say, let me remind myself how it felt when I was young again. So I came to Pretoria because this is where I was training for 4 months, first 4 months when I got to 2012 Olympics, where I really did well. I wanted to come back to the environment again and just reconnect and work around and come back to people like Casta who've been in the area, who've been in the step where I am. Yeah. Sometimes people knows how to do it, but there's only few people who really been in that room who could really give you answers and details to tell you, when you hear you want to break the record, how does it feel? I want to do it. Some people, so many percentage you know, so you got to do this, but 1% of it knows how to be in that room. So I wanted to come to people who really been into that room and has conversation with them and understand and see my potential and allocate and see my best onto those,
Wow, that's great, man. So let's talk a little bit about travel and food and culture. So what is your favorite city, besides, Gabs?
Besides Gabs, my favorite city.
Or besides Francistown, or besides Gabs.
That'd be Mahu.
Yeah. Huh?
That'd be Mahu.
Huh?
Okay. I think for me, it's kind of being my second home. The coach does who won Coach of the Year this year in Botswana. In 2013, when I was going through all those things, he took me to Maung and gave me an opportunity to do coaching clinics. And we see kids from that coaching clinic comes out and be successful. At the moment, the reigning African champion, both men and women, they're coming from those groups. So I think it will be Maung, because it aligned me back into my purpose, it aligned me back into my spirit. My brother took me to, and I think it will be Maung, yeah.
Wow, yeah, no, Maung is great. So what about outside Botswana?
I said
You've been
Botswana.
everywhere, man. You
When I
know,
said I'll be Monaco.
Monaco. I've never been to Monaco, man. So what do you love about Monaco? The food,
I just love how the food, the
the
atmosphere,
culture.
the culture, and you know how much impact the environment plays in the motivation and all skill. You sit here around, you see this, you're like, okay, this thing. Now you know you see this physically, not only on TV. It's a different of energy, connecting and all those things. You know, so I think Monaco, yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. What is your take on mentorship?
It's
Who's your mentor? Are you mentoring some young folks?
think
I
at
mean,
the
I know
moment,
you don't have really time right now. You're pretty much busy, you
yeah.
know? Mhm.
It's my coach, you know, it's my coach, and for me, what I did, my first coach, my second coach, and all those, I connected them together because they understand both me in a different ways. They made me in both different stages of life, you know. For him to be able to maintain the middle age man, for me, should know how young boy been handling the training and everything. So I think my coaches, they became my mentor. And then I read a lot. I think I'll be my mentor. Say I read a lot, and the books they became my mentor. I put a lot of time on the books, and I'll say I'm a mentor. Do give myself time to go out there through Nijel Amos Foundation and have time and talk to the kids and share my story. You know, and that process. Like in this weekend, I'll be sharing my story in Port Elizabeth at the Family Lighthouse Church. You know, I think that sharing my story is sharing the motivation, is sharing the grace. You know.
I love your story, man. I love your story, you know. So what is the state of track and field right now in Botswana?
It's growing. I think we get into a point where we understand that actually sports have been commercialized around the world. You know, we still have to get the mindset of commercializing the sports and understanding that they can be really at the moment. I'll tell you, the sports people they sell the country better than a minister and an ambassador anywhere in the world. You know, you got to utilize onto that. So because you're not commercialized where we don't utilize into those who didn't see those kind of opportunities. But I'll tell you, we get in there. We are on the mob. It's better than it was yesterday.
So we got a couple of good guys coming.
The career, I tell you this, will dominate. Watch out for the 2040, the coming Olympics. We're still gonna be the national anthem on our blue and white flag, the beautiful flag. We're still big high up there, my man. I know there's talent. If you think I'm talented, I've seen talent.
You've seen talent, huh?
Think I'm talented, you haven't seen anything. I've seen talent in our country.
Okay. Now let's talk about the Nijel Amos Foundation. Your foundation's vision says an empowered nation is driven by the unity of its citizens and the preservation of our culture. Right? How do you realize this wonderful vision, Nigel?
It's from my childhood, the way I was raised. You know, an empowered community that raised me made me be able to go against all the odds and come back from Marobela and deliver an Olympic medal at 18-year-old, you know, without the structure, without all those things. So if a community come together and be unified, we can always lift each other and get to an environment where we all have peace and we all have our own comfort. Because at the end of the day, if we be honest, we're all chasing peace in the world. We all want to have peace. We all want to chase happiness, you know. If we are united, if you are all moving, if we are all know, we have the peace. So that's where I think comes from that. And then I said, you know, I need to formalize that. But then to see put it on Nijel Amos Foundation so that we could reach more people, we could do more, we could have more people that could come and be our strategic partners. People are already doing great things in the country, you know. And we look into factors that I think I could help into it with my career, with things I've experienced, with my experience and sharing my story. I think that most will come into my documentary. I'm working on my documentary from young age, growing up, getting to Africa, getting to America, changing food. I'm working on my documentary from all those things, challenges and everything. So I think it will really are gonna give more vision and more clear where the foundation and where I'm heading as a human being.
And you also want to help other, you know, professionals, right? Or people who are doing some great stuff in Botswana.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think someone said if you get into a door, there's space call others into it. So I think my athletics career helped me to get into the doors. You may not be able to sit down and talk to you today in this interview. If I was never getting to the line and run, you wouldn't be talking to me. So I think I'm using that door to say, you know, if we could help each other, that's where we uplift each other. That's where it comes in vision and mission of my foundation.
Right. So all eyes are on you 2021.
The girls.
and really, we don't want to put you under pressure, but do you feel the pressure? Is it unreasonable? You know,
it's not unreasonable. I'm the one who called all the expectation in myself. I'm the one who showed you guys my ability.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's you expect me, I should behave this way, I should do this way, I should do this. I'm the one that made the song, I can't stop the song when people start to dance. I should always and keeping the music playing and hoping to play in a good tune where everybody and the grace will do well. It's
Right,
sports.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
Much love, man. I know you're gonna do good. We're gonna give you all the love. That's all you need, So what is your secret of winning?
Once you keep on winning, it started to be what you want. You see, for me, I've this secret. I've never been number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that much. I've always been 1, 2 last. Last when I'm injured. So I've always been in that position. So I always have that mindset. I should be in this position. When I'm hurting, there's no way I'm gonna lose the race. If I lose the race, I'm lose the race. This minimum, I'll be here. So I always give all out when I'm in. So there's it. Once you get in the winning mindset, and you transit to see that thing which works in everywhere in life. I think it's something that we grow up with it. It's a lot bit by bit. I think I took it to in. So I kept the young boy alive for me. So it helps me to navigate as I grow up into these challenges. As I grow up without a father and meeting all these coaches, they come, my father figure, my mentor, the young boy still be able to find his own way and doesn't lose his own vision,
So who's your role model? It could be anywhere. It could be in track and field. It could be, could be a world leader.
I'm my own role model first.
Okay.
I woke up when my legs are the first one getting the mat for me to be able to talk and see somebody. If I didn't put onto that mat and get out of my door, I wouldn't talk to you. So I think I'm my first role model that get out of that bed, go out and get it done, So I think I'll be my first one, and then I'll admire people like the Rwandan president Gakeme. I admire him. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh, that's cool. So today is, I don't know, today is Thanksgiving. So what are you thankful for? Yeah.
I'm thankful for a lot of things in life, and most especially in this year, I'm thankful first for my life, man. It's for us to be able to see the other side of this pandemic. You got to be alive. So that's most thing I'm thankful for being able to see the next day and be able to be on the next phase of things and see how things are. Mostly for my life and my family, for everyone, for the energy that goes me, and for the peace that we still have in the world, man.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. It's been a wonderful, let me say, 40 minutes with you, but I want you to leave us with your last word. What is your message of hope?
My first message of hope is that we should learn to listen to our own voice and understand the power that comes from within. If you don't listen to your own voice, you're going to lose your power that you could use. You're going to fight. We're going to fight things with a different thing. Sometimes we fight our genes, things that are in our genes that and use different strategy. But if you listen to your own voice, you always know which strategy to face challenges with. And mostly you always never see a challenge as a barrier. You always see it as it's a crossover bridge. Let me just get stuck home and get over there this way, and you always go. So if you listen to your inner voice, you connect it to yourself, you always figure out your way.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah. It has been a wonderful 40 minutes, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Nijel Amos.
Blessing. Thank you for having me, brother.
Blessing, my brother.